If we could attach balloons to our memories, would they actually float us away? Carl Fredrickson, a widower with a lifetime of love and loss tucked into his chest, decides to test that theory. He ties thousands of balloons to his house and lifts off, leaving behind the world he's always known to chase a dream he shared with his late wife, Ellie. That's Up. For most people, it isn't just a movie, it's understanding. When Up first hit theaters in 2009, it wasn't marketed as an emotional gut punch. It was supposed to be a fun Pixar adventure, balloons, talking dogs, and a flying house. But what we got was something entirely different. A film about grief disguised as a children's story. That reminded adults what it feels like to dream again. And like any true Pixar masterpiece, the magic is in the details most fans never notice. The hidden nods to Disney history, the tiny sketches that inspired entire sequences, and the small touches that make the characters feel alive. Here are 10 uplifting facts about Pixar's Up, beginning with a random sketch. 1. It all started with a single sketch. Every Pixar classic starts with a what if. What if toys had feelings? What if monsters powered their city with screams? And for Up, it was, what if a house could fly? The what if spark for Up came from something super simple, a sketch at Pixar of a small house floating away under a bunch of balloons. Director Pete Docter saw it and couldn't stop thinking about it. He wondered about the person inside that house and where they could possibly be going. Maybe they are old, tired, maybe even a little lonely and trying to escape the noise of the world. That was it. From that one quiet idea came everything. The man, the balloons, the house, the sky adventure.
So long, boys! I'll send you a postcard from Paradise Falls!
But a movie isn't just about where it starts. It's about how it opens. 2. The opening montage came from Strangers' Home movies. You know the scene. Carl and Ellie's entire life, from their first date to their last day, told in 4 minutes of silence. It's one of the most emotional openings in cinema, and here's the secret behind it. It was inspired by real people's home videos. Pete Docter and his team spent hours watching old wedding films, birthday parties, even grainy VHS clips of ordinary families. They wanted the montage to feel real, not stylized, not cinematic, just life, the way it unfolds when nobody's watching. Every smile, every moment of loss, every tiny domestic joy, all of it came from the real world. It's why that montage hits so hard. You're not just watching Carl and Ellie, you're watching life, messy, beautiful, fleeting life. But believe it or not, that perfect wordless sequence almost didn't exist. At one point, Pixar tried something totally different. 3. Carl and Ellie almost spoke in the montage. In early drafts, the filmmakers gave Carl and Ellie full dialogue. They were supposed to finish each other's sentences. It was charming, funny, very Pixar. But something felt off. When they muted the voices and let the visuals play with just Michael Giacchino's music, the team realized they'd found something purer. Without words, the audience could feel the story instead of being told what to feel. That's why the version we got is completely silent and completely devastating. It's visual poetry. That level of precision runs all through Up. Even with their little Easter egg nods, that brings us to a fun one. 4. The hidden A113 appears during Carl's court scene. If you've watched enough Pixar movies, you should know about A113. And in case you don't, it's an inside joke referencing the animation classroom at CalArts where many Pixar legends studied. In Up, it appears above Carl's head during the courtroom scene when he's being forced to leave his house. It's a blink and you'll miss it Easter egg, but it's also intentional. So A113 is the number tied to Pixar's creative beginnings, and now it hovers over a man facing the end of his beginnings. Little touches like that remind you why Pixar's storytelling runs deeper than most studios' entire plots. And if you think that level of thought stopped at Easter eggs, think again. Even the shapes of the characters were designed to tell their own story. 5. Carl is square, Russell is round, and that says everything. Pixar animators don't just draw characters, they sculpt personalities. Carl is made of squares, square face, square glasses, even a square house. He's rigid, structured, boxed in by grief and habit. Russell, on the other hand, is made of circles, soft, round, endlessly curious. He bounces through life the way Carl used to. When you put them together, the visuals alone tell the story. It's about a square man learning to open up to the round world again. It's designed as storytelling, and it's something few studios do with this much care.
Well, that's not gonna work.
I know that cloud is a cumulonimbus.
And while Carl and Russell were opposites by design, the film's villain came from a place nobody expected, the legend behind Disney itself. 6. Charles Muntz was inspired by Walt Disney. The great explorer Charles Muntz, charming, ambitious, obsessed with proving himself, might remind you of someone. That's because his character was partly modeled after Walt Disney. Pete Docter has said that Muntz represents the darker side of ambition, the version of a dreamer who lets obsession consume him. Like Walt, he's visionary, driven, larger than life. But unlike Walt, he loses sight of wonder and falls into ego. So, in a strange way, Up pits two sides of creativity against each other, Carl's rediscovered joy versus Muntz's corrupted purpose.
Just wait till they get a look at you. Master.
And while Muntz embodies obsession, Russell represents innocence, all brought to life by a kid who wasn't acting so much as being himself. 7. The voice actor for Russell had to run around before recording. Jordan Nagai was only 9 when he voiced Russell, and Pixar quickly realized he had the perfect energy for the role. The problem was that he was too calm once he stepped into the booth. So the directors made him run around the studio before recording his lines, literally jogging, jumping, laughing, until he was panting and wild. That's why Russell's voice sounds so real. You can hear the movement, the breathlessness, the pure, unfiltered excitement. Every wow and cool isn't acting. It's a kid actually living the moment.
Oh, this makes it go right, and that one's left.
That same childlike authenticity carried over into another corner of the film, and it's one you've probably looked at 100 times without realizing who created it. 8. Ellie's drawings were made by the director's daughter. Remember Ellie's adventure book? The one Carl flips through after she's gone? Remember how it is full of little crayon drawings and scribbles? They look exactly like something a child would make. That's because they were. Director Pete Docter's daughter, Ellie Docter, drew many of the pages herself. And that's not all. She also voiced young Ellie in the movie. Those real drawings, made by a real kid, gave Ellie's character an innocence that no professional artist could fake. Every doodle is drawn with love, and that's why it hurts so much when Carl opens the book and realizes the adventure she meant wasn't in South America. It was their life together. The next fact takes us to the one image that defines the movie: the house in the sky. 9. Pixar counted. It was 10,297 balloons. When animators say they care about detail, they mean it. Pixar actually calculated how many balloons it would take to lift Carl's house. It was exactly 10,297. Every single one was modeled, shaded, and animated individually, each with its own movement to make the cluster feel alive. In reality, they calculated that you'd need around 20 to 30 million balloons to lift an actual house. So the film keeps the magic while acknowledging the physics. But physics wasn't the point. Wonder was. Those balloons aren't just props. They're symbols of everything Carl's still holding on to: his memories, his grief, his promise. And watching them rise is like watching him finally let go. But Pixar didn't just make emotional history with Up, they made cinematic history too. 10. Up made Oscars and Cannes history. When Up premiered at the 2009 Cannes Film Festival, it became the first 3D film ever to open the event. That's an honor usually reserved for highbrow live-action dramas, not animated adventures. Then, months later, it pulled off something no animated film had ever done before. It was nominated for both Best Picture and Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. That moment changed everything. It told the world that animation isn't a genre, it's cinema. Pure, emotional, universal cinema. Quick trivia, Up is actually Pixar's 10th full-length animated movie. Isn't that something? Well, there you have it. 10 amazing facts about Up. From one simple drawing at Pixar to a house flying on 10,297 balloons, this film is so much more than you thought. So next time you watch it, keep your eyes peeled for A113. Note the shapes of Carl and Russell. Pay special attention to that opening montage and reflect on just how much love and craft went into this kids' movie that actually speaks to everyone. Thanks for floating by, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, tell us your favorite Up fact. And if you want more stories behind the films that defined our childhoods, don't forget to like and subscribe for more behind the scenes. Because here, we don't just watch movies, we feel them.